double twisting, aka my arch nemesis. So today's video, guys, I'm going to take you through my a little bit over 1 year progression of my double full. This is from just learning it and up till today. Show you my progression for different setups and just give you an idea of how difficult this was to do. Here we go. Link in the description, baby. Alright everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. So like I said, today's video we're going to be going into my double full progression. This is like a 1 year progression of learning the double full. So I'm going to take you guys way back to early 2020 when I decided to learn how to double twist. So I'm going to show you guys as much footage as I possibly could find through my archives and stuff like that, so we can really like look at this. Okay, so looking at spring of 2020, this is when I decided to first learn double twisting. I'll pull you guys some clips here. It was just absolutely awful. Spring of 2020 was essentially just a compilation of me body slamming, head slamming into the ground over and over repeatedly, just like, it was terrible, but you know what? Part of the learning process. So anyways, right here, this is one of my first attempts at throwing cart dub. I mean, I was using a cart setup because that's the only way I could comfortably twist. I could do a corkscrew and I could also do a standing full, but I felt like I had the most power out of a cart setup. So that's how I decided we were gonna approach learning double twisting. Cart setup into a double twist, and essentially it just turned into a slightly over rotated single twist, and then I didn't even stick the landing and just slammed my head on the ground. So this took me a while to get good at. I think the first time I sent one of these was like sometime in March, and then I just kept spamming double full training. So I sent double full on the trampoline quite a few times, and I actually ended up getting quite good at it. And even last year I was able to learn standing double full on the trampoline. It was like pretty soon after I landed cart dub on the ground. So I felt really comfortable doing double twisting on the trampoline, and it was all about just taking it to the ground. That's when I kind of fell apart, was the timing of the twists, the takeoff, everything like that. So we're gonna go into each one of those during this video. I like something in my eye, dude. I don't even know. Actually, you know what? I have a review session in 2 minutes because I have finals next week, so this video is gonna be to be continued. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, fast forward a few days and I actually finished all of my schoolwork. So anyways, back to the video. So I ended up just basically spamming these on the ground like I showed earlier, constantly failing, and then my twisting tech gradually improved to the point where I could land in like 1 3/4, and that was like extremely frustrating for me, like landing just shy of a full 720 twist. But it was definitely showing progress, and I was able to land like on my feet, which was definitely an improvement from before. And then it was sometime early May, I landed my first ever cart double full. Freaking so psyched when I landed this, guys. It was literally the best feeling ever. I never imagined that I'd be able to learn double twisting, and there I was throwing my first double twist out of a cartwheel. Such a great feeling, and there's a whole video about that. If you want to see that video, I will link it in the description below. Just looking at this double full though, it's clearly not very pretty. I'm definitely jumping pretty high in the air, but the twist is so slow, it's so tucked. It was just like not good twisting tech at all. So basically we're gonna look at how that progressed over the course of the next year, and then some other variations I learned. So pretty much as soon as I landed my first cart dub, guys, I just sent it as much as I possibly could, and I ended up not landing it that often. Like I would probably send it like every time that I seshed, and I would only land it like 10% of the time, which is extremely frustrating when you're trying to land a new trick. It's like you can only land it 1 out of every 10 that you throw. Really not good, but over time, my technique gradually got better. I started landing it a little more consistently, and eventually I ended up feeling super comfortable with it, and I worked my way up to throwing this one right here, which was probably like the end of July, something like that. And this was by far my best double twist that I threw that summer. Really solid takeoff, solid twist, solid landing, just everything about it was so clean. I love this, and I ended up sending a double full out of a back handspring too, which was also late July. This was my first double full out of a back handspring. So really excited about all that. And then I sprained my ankle. If you guys were following me at any point during last year, you probably heard me just crying, complaining about like how my ankle was sprained, and it was a huge setback, especially because I was just starting to like really hone in my double twisting skills, and I've been working on it for like 2 to 3 months at that point. Finally started to feel good. Ankle sprain, bam! And that put me way behind track. So it took me a couple months after that to like get it back. So I think that I sprained it at the very beginning of August. It took me a couple weeks to get back into flipping, and then after that, it took me a while to work up to sending double fulls, and then it took me even longer to finally land one. So I would say I had to relearn double fulls. Sometime in October is when I landed my first one. So we went from like really good tech up to not so great tech, and they were super sketchy at that point. And also, it hurt my ankle to land that forcefully, because at that point I'm still jumping up pretty high and twisting as hard as I could, and then slamming back down on the ankle. So it was not pretty. It really didn't feel good, and it took me a long time to like get back into sending those. I also never sent double full off a back handspring after that point, because I was just like scared to. I never sent it the rest of the year because like my ankle was kind of messed up. I was just too scared. I was still working on it out of a cart setup, and like even up through the winter, I had to train indoor on turf with my ankle brace because my ankle still hurt. Like I had to wear my ankle brace from the time I sprained it in August all the way up through like the end of February. I think I still was wearing it. So, but towards the end of this year, guys, so I relearned cart double full, and then I started working on scoot double full. So that was a huge monster of a trick to learn. This was one of the hardest tricks that I've ever had to learn, and I don't know why, because learning double full out of a cartwheel was definitely challenging, but nowhere near as difficult as scoot dub. I think scoot dub just has way more technique, and for whatever reason, I suck at it. So here's some of my first scoot double full attempts. If you don't know what a scoot is, it's just this first setup here that I do, and then you try to send it into a double full, which again, backflip with 2 twists. Same kind of trick, just different setup. So obviously a lot less power out of a scoot as opposed to like a running cart. The other thing too that like I started to do like at the end of this year with my cart fulls is turn them more into like a round off full. So instead of a cartwheel just like completely sideways, I was more doing like a gymnast like round off and then double full. So details. But anyway, scoot dub was a pain in the butt to learn, and honestly one of the hardest things I've ever had to learn. I started training in like September or October, I think, and I didn't end up landing it until March. So this thing took me over half a year to finally learn. It was really hard, but again, gradually I just kept spamming it, and my twisting tech definitely improved for that as well. And I think it started to translate a little bit over to my other setups, like my cartwheel. So eventually I got better at it, and I was just tapping the ground, and then winter came and I didn't want to train it at all indoors because it was really uncomfortable on the turf. It was very like hard, and I didn't like doing that trick. So I just waited until the weather got a little bit better and I could do it without being in the snow. And then I ended up landing my first scoot dub, which actually this twisting tech on this looks way better than the twisting tech for my first cart dub. So you can see I have a clear progression of like technique just in that. And that was a huge breakthrough for me, and that just led into the spring where I really just started drilling double fulls out of my round off, cartwheel, out of my scoot, out of my back handspring. Relearning back handspring double fulls took me a little bit to get into, but it really wasn't that hard. I think the hardest thing was to learn scoot dubs, and those ended up looking really good. Whenever I could land them, the twisting looked so clean. Like it was my fastest, tightest twisting. It looked really good. I definitely had a few great clips from Instagram for these that I absolutely loved, and they are still very inconsistent. I could probably only land them like 20% of the time. I really need to get back to those actually. But then back handspring double fulls were super easy to get into. I didn't think it was gonna be easy, but I ended up just sending one day, and like I landed it, and it was great. It was a fantastic feeling. So I spent a lot of time working on my tumbling over the summer, and so that leads me up to the summer / fall of this year, 2021. And so now we can see what my twisting tech looks like. So just revisiting my get together from over the summer. Shout out to Connor Lewis and Emily Fields for starring in the video and helping me film. But yeah, so looking at this, I mean, here is my round off double full. It's not really a cart, so round off double full, really fast, really tall, literally landing with so much extra time and space. It felt great. Again, they're not all like this. Some of them are definitely really bad, but that's okay. You can see a clear improvement in technique from the first time I sent this to here, just in terms of like speed and efficiency. It looks so much better. And then what I'm really proud of is my back handspring double full. It was super sketchy for me to throw this at first, and now I can land out of a double back handspring double full. It's a fantastic feeling, and I've been working so much on the technique for this. I can keep it relatively straight now too. I used to tumble like a little crooked. It's much more straight. The twisting is a little bit longer and faster. It looks fantastic compared to the beginning. So, and that carries me all the way up through now. So like up through the fall, up through the winter. And as you guys have been seeing from my last few videos, I've been trying to learn double corkscrew from a J-step setup. This is not an easy trick either. I don't need to work on my J-step, and that's mostly gonna fix the problem, but we are still working on that. So hopefully we will get that early next year. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So that is my like one-ish year progression of a double full from the first time I landed it up through today, where I can do it from multiple different setups, working on a couple more. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you got any tips, anything else you want to see. Do you want to see a progression video for any other of my tricks? Because I do have a lot of tricks that I've definitely improved on over the last like few months, even like over the course of 2 years. So let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else. And yes, I'm very excited to post this video because I've been stuck in school and studying for the last couple of weeks. I know I've been off YouTube, off Instagram lately, and I'm sorry for that, but now we got winter break. I got 4 weeks of content planned. Videos come in like every single day, guys. So I think I'm gonna alternate between a full-length video like this one and a short. So I'm trying to post every single day on YouTube for the next 4 weeks. So make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, boy. We are coming for some big goals in 2022. I'm gonna list them off at the end of the year, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.